There we go. How's everybody doing today?
Great.
Good. Okay. Well, thank you all so much for joining me today. My name is Ellen. I am the tech trainer here at Keller Williams Realty Phoenix, and this is our compliance class. Yay! If you are taking this class, it means you are being paid or at one day will be paid in the future. So I'm very excited for you. All righty, I'm going to share my screen and we'll go from there. Now, the way I generally like to do it, I'm going to close the door really fast. There we go. Okay. Alrighty, sorry about that. So generally speaking, the way I like to run these classes is, since I only have one screen, it's a little difficult for me to see into the chat box. So what I will do is I will go through, there's a couple of different steps. And so as I go through the steps, if you have questions, I will ask for questions sort of at the end. So if you do have questions, jot them down, and then I will address those sort of when we get to the end of that step. So just unmute yourselves and ask away, because again, it's hard for me to keep up with the chat and all that kind of stuff. So, alrighty. So this is command compliance. So as you guys know, SkySlope is like, we are getting rid of SkySlope. It is going away. Life is over. No, I'm kidding. Life isn't actually over. So logging into command, which is console.command.kw.com for those of you that don't know. So this is what you will see. This is your home page. This is what I see. So the first step to putting an opportunity or making an opportunity is adding the contact. So clicking over here to this little icon on the left that looks like a head, that is where your contacts live, okay? So you're just gonna click on this little teal button that says add contact, and then put in all of the relevant information for this contact. Now, again, if you're using command at a higher level, please put in as much information as possible. If you are specifically using command for compliance, keeping it brief to name, email, and phone number is the way I would recommend. So when you are all done with that, click this little create contact. I'm not going to do that right now. And then in order to start an opportunity, in order to get paid, we're going to go down here. This little icon that looks like two hands shaking is opportunities. So I'm going to click into that. And this right here is your pipeline. And mine is thinking we're loading. That's fantastic. So this is your pipeline right here. We're not too terribly concerned about this, that what we can do with it currently. We're going to create an opportunity. So I'm going to click create opportunity. If you are in multiple market centers, please be sure that the correct market center is selected. Your team, if you're on a team, please ensure that the team is selected, especially if you're a transaction coordinator. That is important. The opportunity type, I'm going to go with a buyer today. I am the owner here. And then the next thing, you will have to pick your client out of your contacts. You cannot add a client here. So again, that's why I said starting contacts. So I have done that. If there is a co-buyer in the situation, please select that as well. And for this, in the opportunity name, please put the numerical portion of the street address. This ensures two things. One, that if you are working with an investor who has multiple properties under contract, good for you. You can ascertain which opportunity you're looking at to make sure it's the correct one. And also for our broker, and when she's reviewing everything, if there's a question and we need to look up that particular opportunity, being able to reference that numerical portion of the street address is incredibly helpful. So coming down, the other two things that you have to, or excuse me, three things that you have to select is the commission rate, which I usually put 3%, but you can change that. and the opportunity phase. So I just did those. Again, if you're using Command at a high level, you'll have to go in and edit those later. If you are not concerned about that, pay no attention to the man behind the screen. Okay, so I'm going to click create, and this creates our opportunity. Now, a couple of things to notice. The opportunity ID, these are individual to every single opportunity within Command. So understanding that if you have a buyer, they go under contract and it falls out, you will have to create another new opportunity for this person. In regard to this particular opportunity, say it falls out of contract, you click lost opportunity, and then that will make it go away into archive. And you can find those by looking under all opportunities within your dashboard of opportunities. So coming in here, this is your opportunity dashboard. You can edit this information as far as, say, the property address. And the wonderful thing about this is it is tied to Google Maps. So you can pull from Google Maps and it will automatically fill in all of this information. If you are dealing with, say, a land listing or something that's like a new build, you will have to create your own. And if you put in the full numerical portion of that address and it can't reference anything within Google Maps, it will ask you to create your own. So after that, we're going to click save. Fantastic. Under general information, again, if you're using Command at a high level, filling in the appointment schedule, the appointment date, all of this information right here in the middle is going to be very helpful, including the finance type for when you look at your numbers at the end of this year, moving into next year, setting your goals. You can see how many conventional deals you did. Generally speaking, how long those opportunities were in the pipeline and how quickly they moved through. That will give you a very good indication of where you can set goals for next year. So coming in here, keeping it with compliance, the next thing I'm going to highlight is the Documents tab. This is where all of your compliance documents will go. So in order to pull up those checklists, we're going to call this a traditional sale. You have to pick a checklist, okay? And if you notice, it starts in a consultation phase. If you click under contract, that's where all of these documents are, okay? So I'm going to click add a file. Very easy. You can either have your Finder open and drag and drop. I'm going to browse instead from my local. There we go. This is going to be my completed offer. Fantastic. Okay, so uploading an offer or uploading documents. I'm going to click assign. Now, excuse me, if you decide, realize I uploaded the not fully executed purchase and sale agreement, click over here on these little 3 dots. You can remove that. And then I will show you, I'm going to click submit to Market Center. And then I will show you what happens there. Okay. So after you submit it to the Market Center, you can click replace. So that is another way you can replace that document. When you get through with uploading all of your documents, please ensure that this is submitted. Compliance and our broker cannot see it unless it is submitted. So make sure that's grayed out. And even in the submitted status, you can replace a document. And I'll ask you, why are you re-uploading this document? Incorrect. Uploaded. Fantastic. Okay. And then you just browse and you can replace that by clicking replace. So I'm going to X out of that. Okay. Does anybody have any questions up until this point? Okay. All righty. I'm going to move forward. If you do have questions, I will ask in a couple of minutes. And I am going through this a little bit quickly because this is a half-an-hour class, but I am always available for questions outside of class, just so you know. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to create an offer. Creating an offer, that's the next tab after documents. I'm going to click add new offer, and I'm going to call this accepted offer. Accepted offer. The cool thing about offers is if you have a listing and you have multiple offers on the property, you can use offers to create multiple offers within the system, and it will give you a very easy printout, spreadsheet type thing, if you will. I can't talk today. Words are hard. That you can show to your seller. So it will actually give you the opportunity to compare those multiple offers in a very easy to read format. But for the time being, again, we're just going to work with compliance. So we're going to say our offer date was the 1st. Our close date is the 28th. If this is an interoffice listing, you can select it from KWLS. I do 123 East Main Street as per usual. And again, that will auto-populate from Google. So the next, you're going to click parties, which is this little teal button down at the bottom. And this is where the other parties' names go. So this is our client, the buyer. We're just going to say this is Mrs. Seller. And who is representing this person? We're going to say that it is, who are we going to use today? Mike Menifee. Alrighty, fantastic. Again, if you're using this at a high level, filling out as much information as possible. And just for compliance purposes, anything with this little red asterisk has to be filled out before you can move forward. So next, we're going to click into terms. So this is where your cash plus your finance amount is going to equal your sales price. Okay. So if you are doing multiple offers, let's say there was $100,000 in cash, and see how that will edit the sales price. And the finance amount was $625. So though these two fields do add together to come up with your sales price. Okay. So if there's $25,000 in cash down, again, see that will edit the sales price. Alrighty. Your earnest money amount. This field is not, whoops, that was not percentage. I wanted to do earnest money amount. There we go. Okay. So these fields do not integrate with the sales price fields, obviously, because earnest money doesn't go towards the sales price. But just in case we were wondering, these two do not correlate. Again, these are some other options that you can use while putting together an offer to show to your seller. We're going to click into agent analysis, pros and cons, and the summary of this particular offer. Again, if you're comparing multiple offers, it's a very handy place to put in the pros and cons of each. But for right now, we're going to click save. And we have our offer. Fantastic. Now, as we notice, the commissions tab is grayed out. You have to accept this offer in order to unlock the commissions tab. Okay. Does anybody have any questions on offers? Nothing. Okay, fantastic. So I'm going to click accept. We've now accepted the offer and the commissions tab is available to us. Yay. Hey, we're getting paid. This is exciting stuff. Okay, commissions tab. So in the commissions tab, this is your new green sheet. Okay, now please note, if you are double ending a deal, at this time, you cannot put both sides of the transaction in here. You have to create two opportunities with each side, listing and buy side, for each listing and buy side commission verification. I know it's cumbersome. It is something that I brought to the attention of support. So let's just hope that at some point in the future, they're gonna fix that issue, if you will. Okay, so coming into here, editing our general information, there's our sales price. This is where if you need to edit your commission rate, let's say it's 2.75, You're not getting the full 3, that's fine. Notice how that commission rate does adjust your total commission, okay? So those two fields do correlate. Now, in regard to total units, if you're on a team and you have a rainmaker that you're splitting money with, commission with, the general information, this is one total unit. I will show you later where to edit those units. So our contract date was the 1st because we all work weekends. Fantastic. We're going to save all these changes. Alrighty. So that is the general information. Now we're going to click into Edit Agent Payment. Here we go. There's me. I'm the agent. Let's say I have a rainmaker. I'm going to adjust my unit to 0.5. I'm going to recalculate my commission. So I just clicked calculate commission. That shows my agent gross commission. Okay. Your additional deductions, there is your $50 E&O. So you do not have to put E&O within that. Just note that. Your KW Cares, your Bold Scholarships, all of those things net to agent. Okay. I'm going to, before I move on, if you are a transaction coordinator and receive a bonus on everyone, you're going to add an item like you get a $100 bonus every time something closes. This is going to be a deduction, right? So let's just say that's not $1,000, $100. Deduction to let's say bonus to TC. Pay to, okay, this is where the pay to comes in. Let's go with no. Not that that's a real person, but so this will pull up the person that it needs to pay to and the address. That is the address that you would have to send a check to. So say it's like another agent or something like that. So that's just going to be our address and our phone number. So I'm not going to go into that because I don't remember our office phone number. So I'm just going to hit cancel. Save changes. Okay. Now, if you notice, there are these little warnings. You have a remaining agent concession balance. This is where you add your other person into. So here is your other agent. So let's say that this is Charles Harris, okay? That's the buyer's agent in this transaction. They get half of a unit. There's their commission. Fantastic. We're going to click Save Changes. Now notice when we did that, there was no remaining balance of commission. So we can move forward. The beautiful thing is that this will show you year to date, and this is day to date, if you will, where you are as far as royalty and as far as company dollar. So if you have multiple transactions closing in like a week, and the first one obviously you will be capping on, and then the other two you will get full commission on, that is not something that will reflect here. Terry has that information. She adjusts these accordingly. So if you're concerned about submitting this, knowing that you will have capped in that period in time before this transaction closes, that is something that Terry can adjust, and she does keep tabs on. So just so you guys know. Okay. Here's our additional agent, our buyer's agent, if you will. Their information, and you can't see their cap in anything, which as you shouldn't be able to see their cap. So just so you know. Alrighty, so we have done everything we need to do in order to submit. Now at this point, I'm going to hit submit. It will ask you again if you would like to contribute to KW Cares. Not at this time. Click apply. Okay, and now you have officially submitted your green sheet into the office. So notice that this button is grayed out. You cannot submit it again. This commission is under review by your MCA. So when it either gets accepted or kicked back for something that's incorrect, you will receive a Kelly notification. When you submit your green sheet, or excuse me, your commission verification, gosh, that's going to be a hard one to pull out of my vocabulary. You will receive an email stating you have submitted a commission verification. You will also get a Kelly notification. If it gets kicked back to you for any reason, you will receive a Kelly notification and an email notification. Okay. So just so you know, for compliance purposes, also, if you have submitted a transaction because it's within that 10 days, the broker has to sign it, all that stuff, and it says, you have not completed everything because you didn't do a walkthrough form. And you're like, well, we don't close for 3 weeks. Hence the reason I haven't done a walkthrough form. That is a known issue. We are working on it. So that is something that you will probably get. So just know that when you do get it, just put a note to remember to upload that particular documentation. Okay. Does anybody have any questions thus far? Excuse me. Here we go.
Sorry, I had a quick question.
Go ahead.
And I'm with my infant, so I apologize if she pipes up.
That's okay. I was gonna say children and animals are always welcome on my calls.
On the, and now I can't see it on the screen, but where you had the units, you had 0.5.
Yes.
That was because you were, that was if you were part of a team, or
so
it's always 0.5 because there's a buyer's agent and a seller's agent?
No. This is if you are like a buyer's agent on a team, if you have a rainmaker within our office. If you are a solo agent, then you will have 1 unit. Okay. And that will automatically populate. So you will have to actually change that in order for that to be 0.5 units.
Okay.
So
that makes sense. Just wanted to double check.
Yep. And I like to show it for both, because we have some transaction coordinators on here as well that are going to have to be doing that. So I like to show both ways. But again, if you're a solo agent, your agent units is going to default to 1. So you do not have to change that.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Does anybody else have any other questions? No, it's once you walk through it, it's pretty cut and dry. I always say if you can use Facebook, you can use Command. But again, then they change it, like the new Facebook layout, and you're like, where did everything go? So again, I have recorded this. I recorded a session last week. So I will, and I'm recording this one as well. So I will post those. If you do need to reference anything, come back here. If you have any additional questions, feel free to reach out to me. I am happy to assist. Oh, one other question I did have today was, if I'm a transaction coordinator for multiple agents, do I have to have access to every single one of their Command logins in order to create their compliance? And the answer is yes. So if you are a TC a la carte, you need to get their Command login of your agents. All right. Okay. Hey guys, thank you so much for hopping on. I appreciate your time. Again, feel free to reach out to me if you have additional questions. I will post this recording in the Facebook page underneath the live video I did earlier in regard to this. And don't forget, we have applet training tomorrow. I'm going to reference my calendar to ascertain what I'm doing. We are doing designs tomorrow. So if you need to know how to do business cards, anything like that, email signatures, please let me know. I'm happy to help. And I will be doing that tomorrow at